This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
Hello there, you sexy Meltdonian. I am Tim Melton, and we are here with you all today. What did I do wrong this time?
Oh, happy Monday, Tim.
Happy
What was
Monday.
that?
It's been a weird show.
That was weird. That was a weird way to start.
I agree, but you know what? Meldonians are sexy, and I don't care what anybody has to say about them. But anyway,
Okay.
welcome into the Culver studio. We are here with you live every weekday, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. And today's going to be a little bit of a loose show. I'm looking forward to just sitting around and talking. That's what we're going to do today.
I like that.
Sound fun? This is the pop culture campfire that we call Meltdown Live, and you are locked in. We appreciate it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for us and look at yourself in the mirror, you sexy devil. I don't know. I'm really going for this motif today.
Yeah. Happy Monday, everyone.
Okay, there we go. E.G., how was your weekend?
It was wonderful. I spent time in Augusta, Georgia with my best friend from college. We talked about this on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those weekends where I felt like I really utilized the time given.
Ooh, tell me
That
more.
makes sense. Yeah.
Tell me more.
So Friday, I left from here, drove to Augusta, 4 hours. Literally, guys, you stay on I-20 for the entire time. I made one turn, and that was a right onto Bobby Jones Expressway. That's a long time. 227 miles, I think.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, I feel like people, and you have to go through Atlanta too. So it's,
Barf.
yeah, it's not great. Not a great drive. But I feel like people, when it comes to driving, I don't know if you guys feel this way, like it's kind of exhausting, but it feels like it shouldn't because you're just sitting, you know?
Yeah,
But it's like,
but you still have to stay very alert
Exactly,
the
like,
entire time.
I can confirm driving
yeah.
for long periods of time is
yeah,
exhausting.
like
Tyler
because you
Lionel
can't-
Johns, everybody, by the way.
Yeah.
This sexy beast has joined the conversation. Tyler Lionel Johns.
Yeah.
I quit. I don't know. What happened was I was singing Bruno Mars before we came on,
Well,
and
yeah.
it got me in this mindset that I
Bruno.
want a gold chain,
Pinky ring?
pinky ring, open collar, Gucci, and yeah,
Yeah.
and I just want to kind of put it up to the moon. You know what I mean?
Yes. I love this. Yes.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
I think Bruno Mars would be a concert I'd want to go to, but two, I feel like that music is always acceptable. Like weddings in the car jamming out. I was gonna say funerals, but no.
Just
Maybe.
it funks me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uptown.
Yep.
What were we talking? Oh yeah, my drive to Augusta. So any hoozles, got there, and then it was also one of those weekends where me and my best friend, we just haven't seen each other in so long.
Yeah.
So we had plans to get dressed up, go to cute dinners. We canceled our reservations, just hung out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to, not because you
We
had
wanted
to.
Yeah. And we're we don't even want to do the effort of getting all so we just had the best time ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then wait, I'm not done.
Oh,
I know.
I wasn't rushing.
I know. So then, but because I mentioned how I really optimize my time. So I left to go back to Atlanta at 9 on Sunday morning. And then I got back and had a lovely afternoon at home on my way back to Birmingham. Saw my niece, saw my parents, saw my dog, saw Mikey.
This is like chicken soup for the soul.
It
you know,
is.
it's what this is.
Yeah.
Little taste of home.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm happy that there are people that still look forward to going to the state of Georgia and having a good time.
Tim, it was such a beautiful moment.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the one
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
just
you
had
just-
before I ruined it?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll try to get it back.
We will.
Well, that's great, E.G. Are you in the right mindset for poker tonight? I
am.
always ask that question. Tonight is the season finale.
Yeah, my goal is just to sabotage Jim Dunaway. I told him I was gonna bluff him. I told him I'm gonna go all in against him. I told him I'm just gonna mess with the minds.
Are you worried you're not going to be on the same table as him for a majority
Yeah,
of the
I
night?
did.
That is a little bit of
But
worry.
we've been paired up. And honestly, if we're not, then it's I'm the next level he has to face,
It's between three people, Jim Dunaway, Spud, who's a regular guest here on this show and somehow shows up an hour and a half late every single week and still wins.
consistently.
It's amazing how he's able to do that while complaining the entire time that we're holding him back.
I don't think we are, Spud.
I mean, eventually that gimmick has got to end, right?
If he wins the season.
Especially.
Yeah.
And then our good buddy Damien Stockdale,
Yes.
who is definitely probably the biggest gambler of the three in terms of some of the
For
swings
sure.
that he takes. And he's got a little ace up the sleeve tonight. He's got, I want to put this out there.
Okay.
Game 1 of this season, 14 weeks ago or whatever, he won that game. And that
Sneaky
gave
flip
him,
hand.
no, it gave him a rebuy chip.
Oh
And he has not used it all season long. So he has
God.
3 lives tonight. So yeah, that's a little bit of a plot twist. I don't
Does
think
he remember that?
he does. I don't think Jimmy D does.
I don't think he does.
So that's gonna be interesting. Anyway, we'll see if that ends up costing. I'm sure Spud will be able to complain about it, even though Spud has won that same chip in previous seasons and
Oh.
utilized it. Tyler, how was your weekend, my friend? And I don't want to hear about what you did at the movies. I want to hear about what you did as a person, as an individual, as a human. How did you connect with your own soul?
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. All I did was watch movies. I played some Ghost of Tsushima because that game is awesome. I highly recommend it. It's made by the same team that made the Infamous games, and it's a samurai game.
Third person, right?
Yeah. And went into the botanical gardens yesterday.
That's
Oh, now
fun.
that's awesome.
Connecting
Yeah.
with nature too.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in
Yeah.
bloom yet?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Now, if I'd been asked that same question, I'd be like, "Isn't it always?" I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
botanical
I
gardens.
that
No,
that
I've
was
been
my
there.
first thought, Tim.
It's not.
Okay, Miss Atlanta, you know what? But botanical gardens doesn't need you and your aura.
Eh,
It has a lot to do with it because I can tell you're talking about our botanical gardens. You go get your own botanical gardens.
We do have the Atlanta Botanical Gardens.
We'll go to that.
They're fabulous, just like y'all's are
I
fabulous.
guess they're in bloom all season long.
No,
Okay,
maybe not.
Sorry.
I don't know.
sorry.
Anyways,
I'm sorry. I
What?
got your back. Us Birmingham people got to stick together.
shut up.
It's okay.
So it was
I got
lovely.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
lovely place. Yeah. That's about it.
What?
How did we end up with more fortune cookies?
Wait,
Are those
I
legit?
think those are like crushed
No,
empty
they're
ones.
open ones.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's such a con. Okay, I'm sorry.
I usually eat them, but those have been left out for a while.
They have been. They've been collecting a layer.
It
Anyway,
does.
there's a couple people I want to thank before we get started. First of all, thank you to Tyler for opening up his soul there. Secondly, I want to thank Brian Pavlik. I had a wonderful weekend. We went and saw Shrek the Musical this past weekend at Thompson High School, and the production there in Alabaster was fantastic. They had the gingerbread man, and they
did.
had a whole sequence where the gingerbread man's being tortured
Wow.
by Farquaad.
His name
And
is Gingy.
sorry, Gingy.
There you go.
And it was awesome. I mean, it was really well done, great production value.
Okay, I have a question about Gingy. Was it to scale? Was he to scale?
It was bigger than you would imagine
Okay.
a gingerbread man would be, Gingy, because they have to make it very visible for the entire audience.
Naturally.
But are you asking about Farquaad or Gingy?
I guess both.
Okay. Farquaad, the actor, was on his knees the entire time, and he had little legs that
Oh,
looked
that's
like.
amazing.
Funny.
Oh, it was great. I mean, there were multiple moments where it's like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Donkey obviously is a hoot in this thing. So yeah, it was really great, and I just appreciate Brian Pavlik being such a good friend and supporter of the show, and making sure we had a wonderful night there on Friday evening. So it was wonderful. If you missed it, that's on you. Honestly, I told you to go see it, so you should have gone and see it. I don't know if that's the right way to approach
mean, it
that
is.
conversation, but it was really good. I also want to thank our good buddy Jason Collier, who stopped by on Friday making his Meltdown debut. Now, we ended up meeting when we went to go see The Monkey. Ever since we got in that popcorn bucket, as it just sits there with its back towards me every day, ominous, in an ominous fashion.
It's not
What?
I said it's not good.
What are you eating right now? Honestly.
He's eating crackers.
Peanut butter cracker.
Brown asked you that
That
same
is a
question.
peanut butter cracker for anyone who could not hear.
Yeah. Brown asked the same question today. He passed EG in the hall. He goes, "What are you eating?" She goes, "Crackers." He goes, "I know that. What kind?" And I was like,
I know.
dang. I
I didn't
thought
know there
crackers
was-
was an appropriate response
I said
there.
peanut butter crackers. I didn't know that there was like variations of peanut butter crackers.
There you go.
Are people loyal to a peanut butter cracker brand? Let us know.
I don't know.
I like those peanut butter and honey crackers.
That's what I ate. That's what I had.
Oh,
They
those
were
are good.
delish.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sorry. I said the monkey, it's not good. I think we need to expel it.
the monkey is bad. Bad things keep happening because of that darn monkey.
Really?
Really bad things are happening. I just had my lowest ranked poker season of all time. Normally I'm in the running. I'm always in the top 3. Always. I'm a 3-time champion, 5-time Poker Mania champion, all-time money leader, all-time win leader, all-time, I mean, everything.
Wait. So guess what?
What?
I am officially going to the casino to play. End of May.
Okay. Well, that's a big development.
I know.
Are
I
you
know.
you going cash game or tournament?
That's what we need to discuss.
We need to discuss that.
Well, I mean, yeah, we'll get to that. I just had to let everyone know. So
We'll debrief.
Okay.
Anyway, Jason Collier's watching this probably right now going, why aren't you guys finishing talking about me? Jason Collier made his debut on Friday's show. He met us in the lobby there for the monkey, and we had a long talk, and I just knew, like, oh man, this guy does his homework, knows his stuff. He's a big fan. And what I didn't realize was Access Hollywood had named him the biggest Star Wars fan of all time and sent him to Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, to go watch Star Wars with George Lucas in San Francisco. The story is really amazing. And it's really great seeing in that Access Hollywood those clips that, by the way, are associated with Friday's show. You can see it there. Tyler has the link as the first comment. And it's great seeing Alabama represented in that contest, like, because they talk about where everybody's from.
Yeah, I chuckled when the presenters said Pelham, Alabama.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'd never hear that on the TV.
Right. They just said my state. Anyway,
Where that is.
normally that's only when the Naders are coming through or something like that. Trust me, it's okay to say all that because, normally that is how we get our recognition.
Yeah.
Horrible weather events on the TV.
And First 48.
And First 48. Have I told that story? I've told that story,
I
right?
think
Which
so.
one?
We went to go eat in the Pigeon Forge area, and the waiter was like, "Where y'all fine folks from?" We're like, "Birmingham." "Oh, home of the First 48. I love that show.
That's awful.
It's like, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I actually saw him filming it.
So Bessemer is like the murder capital of the world.
I mean, yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
murder capital of the country.
I feel like there's a lot of states that feel like they have the murder capital of the country.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I don't want to come out and say we own that because that's horrible
Yeah.
if we get it wrong. And also, there's a lot, but hopefully that dies down. Not the best use of words. Anyway, we're being totally insensitive today. Jason Collier.
You're killing it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I don't know how to recover from that. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Jason Collier. Thank you for being here on Friday. It was a great episode. We gotten great feedback, and we really appreciate him sharing his talents with us and his passions. And we hope to have him back sometime very soon. But he's not the only one that was really passionate this weekend, as Revenge of the Sith did some damage at the box office. We're going to talk about it here in a second. But we got to start off with the number one movie in the country. I'm gonna kind of go through exactly how the weekend played out because this is one of the most fascinating box office weekends I can ever recall.
Really?
Ever recall.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Okay. Number one is Sinners. And I know you're like, well, what's the shock there? I've been talking about it nonstop since you've seen it. You've seen it multiple times.
Agreed.
You keep praising it as the best movie of the year. Of course, people are going to see it. Even Tyler and I, no matter how much we've praised it, and we've been on the same page with this from the get, that it is the best movie of the year. It dropped 6% weekend over weekend, which is like unheard of. Like, that's awesome. Like, if that movie had dropped less than 50, it would have been considered a big win from the sense that horror movies typically don't have a ton of staying power. And when you're a top dog and everybody went to go see you one weekend, typically you have a double-digit drop-off at the very least. A 6% drop-off from week to week goes to show you, number one, just how incredible the word of mouth is on this. Number two, how many people are going back and watching this multiple times, like me, like you're about to. You're going to go see it this week.
Yep, got to see it this week before it leaves the Prime Theater. You got to experience that soundtrack and sound design in the best possible way.
Gosh, it was so much better for me the second time.
Oh, did you go see it in Prime the second time? Yep.
Yep, and it was packed on a Monday afternoon. I'm
Yes.
like,
Really?
I'm looking around going, what in the world is happening?
What do you guys do for work?
We go to a lot of Thursday night showings. And, they're moderately
Yeah.
attended. Thursday afternoon's pretty barren, but Thursday night, they're moderately attended. This center screening on a Monday afternoon was packed, and I'm looking around going, what in the world is happening? I mean, word of mouth is so important. And so many people are like, that see it, are like, you've got to go see this. You got to go see this. This is the real deal. And it is. Sinners made me a believer. It's a real deal experience cinematically. So there's a lot of people that went to go see it based on word of mouth. There's a lot of people that went to go see it multiple times. Also, here's one thing that's interesting. So weekend one skewed male. 56% of the audience was male, weekend one. Weekend two, 50-50, male, female.
Interesting.
Yeah. Both sides are really enjoying this.
I guess after word of mouth started building, maybe it started becoming more of a date night movie on that second weekend. Because I do think it is a good date night movie
Wonderful
if
date night movie.
the couple is into horror or
Oh, yeah.
horror elements. Like if that's a hard line you won't cross, like EG would not go to this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now,
No matter what.
EG's not a horror movie fan, okay?
No.
But horror movies typically are the best date movies
Mhm.
because,
Yeah.
It's
like, oh, I'm so scared.
Exactly, right? And EG will never fall into that trap because she won't see the horror movie in the first place.
I will not. I'll turn around in the chair and look the other way.
She's done that, which is amazing to me. That's actually scarier. If I was in the audience, did you just hit your head?
You just hit your head?
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I just bumped it, but it kind of made a noise. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. I want to keep the sarcophagus behind you.
Oh.
I don't want to have you in the sarcophagus.
True.
Sarcophagus.
That is
Sarcophagus.
correct.
Anyways, yes, what were you saying?
I was
It would scare you. Yeah, imagine me looking at you while you're watching the movie.
Imagine you're going to see The Ring or Ringu or Rango, and you're turning around. You're turning around, and there's a lady sitting. A girl? What? I don't know how old you were.
I was in college.
Okay, you were in college.
A lady.
A lady girl. You're sitting in there, and you're facing the back of the auditorium. That would freak me out. I don't care what movie I'm seeing that.
Yeah. And I stand by it.
Be going, this ain't Herbie. I'd be grabbing up all my kids and walking out.
Yeah.
Be terrified.
Especially if it was like The Ring or The Grudge.
It was that one with the doll.
Annabelle.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Add that one to the list as well.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, and I literally sat facing the other way, arms crossed, seething that I did not want to be there.
Gosh, I'm surprised you stayed in there.
On my phone.
I'm surprised.
Muted, covering it.
Yeah, you were forced to due to peer pressure to go in there.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember why I didn't just pull I'm gonna call my mom. But I think it was to prove a point too. I think it was you won't do it, you won't stay. I think that's what I did. I threatened I'm just gonna sit the other way, and they're like, you won't do that, and I did.
Okay.
So
Well, if you want to go see without watching the best movie of the year, it's called Sinners. It's in theaters now. I recommend it. Tyler recommends it. Everyone that we've talked to in the chat has recommended it.
Yes.
It's just it's an experience. And what's interesting about the movie is it introduces a lot of characters.
okay.
But you feel like you know these characters. You feel like you got their backstory and you are interested in their prequel to all of this.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So horror movies are typically, I feel like it's not often you get people out of horror interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this doing that?
Because it's several different genres. It's not just a horror movie, right? It's a
Okay.
deeper level. This movie feels culturally significant. It feels like it has broken through the threshold of when we look back at 2025, what will be the movies that we remember most? And Sinners will 1000% be towards the top of that list, if not at the very top of that list. Tyler, the more this thing churns at the box office, the higher percentage chance it has of being a true awards contender later on in the year. Everything Everywhere All at Once was a movie that came out early in the year and ended up catching fire because a little bit of a lack of competition for sure, but also it just had this staying power of being this fan favorite, crowd favorite. And it didn't reach near the commercial success of what we're seeing with Sinners, but it was still very popular emotionally with general audiences. This movie's going to be an awards contender in a number of different categories. should definitely be there in production design, costume
Yes.
design, music, cinematography. I don't know.
I preferred the cinematography I saw in Warfare, more so, but it's okay.
This
I really like a lot of the shots in Sinners.
best director,
Potentially. Potential.
Potential.
best original screenplay.
Potential.
I mean, could this thing set a record for number of nominations? I know I'm way out, and we don't know what the competition looks like because we haven't seen a lot of other award films so far. Warfare, while it is a film that has gotten strong praise from those that have seen it, I do wonder if it's going to fall into that Civil War category of
Yes.
like being completely forgotten about by the time award nominations come.
1000%.
So Sinners looks like it has some staying power, especially since it's dominated 2 weeks in a row now. I'm really looking ahead now at what are its awards chances. It's already winning monetarily. What can it win in terms of acclaim, prestige, and awards? And will everybody be on the same page for rooting for it? Because this thing is not going to get.
Well, everybody except Variety's rooting for it.
That's true. They've started to change their tone, by the way.
People were calling them out.
Yep. Week 2, all of a sudden, this thing's a smash hit, according to Variety. But yeah, our thumbnail today says that studios are sweating. People may go like, "Why? This is good. Box office is jamming." Coogler has this sort of unprecedented deal here where he's able to get the rights to his movie back in 25 years. So 2050, he'll own Sinners completely. And it looks like it's a gamble that really paid off for Coogler and his camp and what they're going to be seeing from the royalties of this film and being able to have complete ownership of it. I say royalties, it wouldn't be royalties, it would be complete ownership. Everything would be going through their pipeline. And studios don't want to cut those deals. Studios want to remain in control of the money. They want to be the middleman that makes sure that everything gets from production point to theatrical release point, and they're able to fatten their stacks of cash.
Yeah, I mean, early Hollywood, there were like actors and producers and stuff like that, directors that could get points on the movie, but they cut those deals out a long time ago because they realized, like, I want to say Jack Nicholson as the Joker was really the nail in the coffin for those sort of deals
Yeah.
because I believe he gets royalties for every portrayal of Joker on screen forever.
And see, I thought it was just every Batman movie ever made. I didn't think it was just Joker.
Oh, no, yeah, yeah, you're right. You're
That
right.
was
It
every
is every
Batman movie.
Batman movie ever made from from 1989 until the
Yeah.
end of time.
That deal, if there's one thing I would like in Hollywood, is to be able to see that deal because it's been rumored about, it's
Mhm.
been acknowledged, but we don't know how we don't have the finite details. And I don't know if
Right.
that deal ran up after a certain amount of time or if it's still going today. But I mean, he looks pretty fat and happy with.
Yeah. The legend was that the deal was in perpetuity because no one knew that comic book movies would be such
Mhm.
box office superstars.
It was the deal of the century for
Yeah.
sure, whatever it ended up, whatever those finite details were. But I'm hoping if there's one thing, and look, we just wished Jack Nicholson a happy birthday.
We did.
But after his passing, if there's one thing I want, I want that deal to go public and us know exactly what he made off of Batman,
Absolutely.
because that's amazing. But that's a great point to bring up, and I'm really interested with Sinners as a project, as a business study, as a piece of art. It continuing to launch the careers of Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler to different stratospheres. I did my list of directors that can draw, and I had Ryan Coogler already on that list of directors that draw in audiences based on their name just being attached. And that has only gotten sweeter for him. He cemented himself even further after this second week. So congratulations to Sinners. It's the real deal. It's a movie that immediately I knew was something that was authentically purposeful. And I'm so happy that it's doing well. I'm so happy that people are accepting it and they're passing it along to somebody else. So, Sinners, can't say enough about it. Hunter's been obsessed with the soundtrack, and
It's
rightfully so.
good.
It's good. It's good. I've been singing a song about Lassie forever now, just over and over and over again.
I do like those Irish jigs.
I'm telling you, if
You
those
get a little shanty.
those banjo playing vampires are out there doing their little dances and stuff, I'm tempted. It looks fun. I'm going for it potentially.
Oh yeah.
See you back here at the barn a little bit later. Okay, we're going to go to this. In the number 2 spot, a little bit of a surprise. I mean, I didn't think this movie would do horribly or anything, but I'm surprised it did as well as it did. And that is Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This is the Star Wars movie that came out 20 years ago. This was the last movie that had George Lucas as a part of its foundation. And it cooked $25.2 million in the number 2 spot, coming ahead of a lot of newer fare and brand new fare. Why do you think, Tyler? What's your summation of why Star Wars Episode 3 broke through and became one of the highest grossing re-releases of all time?
It's at that perfect age where the people who were able to see it in theaters and see it in their formative years in theaters, I should say, are at the age where they're mid-20s to early 30s maybe. They're just out of college, getting a career or having kids, and so that gives them the opportunity to have some nostalgia and actually get to just go to the movies because they have disposable income now. Um, or if they have kids, to introduce them to Star Wars. And I've seen some comments in the chat room that people were doing exactly that. Hunter Bussey went to the Star Wars screening, and that's because he is nostalgic for the first time he saw Episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Charles said his son's going through all the Star Wars movies and shows in chronological order. So he took him along to see Revenge of the Sith. So that's why it's doing so well. It's hitting nostalgia at a perfect time with the crowd that can go see the movie.
It is amazing, though, that if we can go back in our time machine, how hated the prequels were when they were coming out.
Oh yeah.
Like, everyone agrees that Episode 3 was the best of the bunch
Mhm.
for the most part. If you don't agree with that, I mean, okay. Um, that's an interesting take. But Episode 3, I think, is the strongest of the bunch, and I'm not sure it's very close, to be honest. There are parts of 1 I love, but the thing is not a great movie experience. I mean, it's got some really great, strong elements.
I like the pod racing,
Mhm.
and I like the fight at the end,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
Duel of the Fates, the music,
Mhm.
maybe the best piece of Star Wars music ever in the
Good.
history of Star Wars, and that just goes to show just how John Williams, how he's the GOAT, and what he was able to do for that movie. But I mean, I was listening to it coming in today. I was like, oh, it's so good. Episode 3 is the emotional climax to that story, and it's done really well, minus the Vader. No, minus that. I mean, I could have done without the no,
Mhm.
the long no there at the end, but it's really good. The battle there on Mustafar is visually still compelling to this day. The actors have only become more popular over time. Like,
Mhm.
you can hate the prequels all you want, but everybody agrees that Ewan McGregor's a wonderful Obi-Wan.
He's a great Obi-Wan, and Hayden Christensen, speaking of things being sort of retconned into being loved,
Yeah,
Hayden Christensen was hated as
yeah.
Anakin, and now he's beloved. I saw a viral clip come across my timeline over the weekend. The premiere of the anniversary edition of Episode 3, Hayden Christensen shows up at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. Everybody's cheering and going nuts when he walks out. He hits his little lightsaber spin, and everybody's losing it, going, "He still got it." So man, it's strange to see him go from like one of the most hated Star Wars actors next to like Jake Lloyd
Yeah,
to being beloved.
that is correct. Both playing the same character, by the way.
Because also at the time they had updated the original trilogy DVDs to have Hayden Christensen have his model be in the one of the Force Ghosts at the end of Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
and people were mad about that too.
People were very mad about that. They do not like the tinkering with the original trilogy there. But, you kind of hit the nail on the head earlier when you're talking about the kids that experienced Star Wars then, when that was their Star Wars
Hmm.
experience, because it got handed down to them from probably a previous generation. And that was their Star Wars. And now they're handing it down to the next generation. And I feel weird talking about Star Wars and saying the next generation. It makes sense. stand back, Trekkies. Don't attack me there, but you know what I mean. It is a nostalgia play, but it's one that worked, and it's got to have. Look, this is immediately what I thought, Tyler. I don't know if this ever crossed your mind, but what I thought immediately when I saw this number for Star Wars Episode 3, The Dark Knight re-releases in a few weeks.
Yeah,
I think you're going to see the same type of momentum here for The Dark Knight.
absolutely. That's gonna do gangbusters. I never got to see The Dark Knight in theaters.
Yeah,
That came out when I was like 8 years old.
I think it's going to do great. I hope that look, there are very few movies I want to go to Patton Creek to watch. I would go to Patton Creek to watch The Dark Knight in IMAX.
I would prefer it to be in Prime, obviously, but you know, I'd rough it in the IMAX for Dark Knight.
I I'm not sure in our area how many premium screens The Dark Knight's going to get because it opens up against Lilo and Stitch and it opens up against Mission Impossible.
Oh, 0.
That's my fear.
0.
Is that we're not going to get any screenings. Now, if we can get a couple mixed in, that would be great because I'm going to definitely book my tickets for that. But I'm worried that they're going to be eaten up by these other two huge tentpole movies. So
Even if it's just like regular, just digital screen,
yeah,
no Prime, no IMAX, no nothing like that, I'm still going.
yeah, I'm looking very forward to it. But I think it's going to do really well Memorial Day weekend. And I keep checking the AMC app, keep saying it's a Dark Knight double feature. And I'm like, is that Batman Begins the Dark Knight or is that Dark Knight Rises?
I mean, either way, I'm in, but one I'm even more excited for, and you know, same for you. We're both
Yeah.
bigger fans of Batman Begins than we are Dark Knight
Yeah.
Rises.
I'm hoping that we get that. Look, we just had Liam Neeson franchise in the Star Wars prequels. That's a little bit of a stretch, but we just had that, show some legs. Hopefully we can get another Liam Neeson spectacle in the Batman Begins re-release is something that can happen. So anyway, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, there at the number 2 spot, and congratulations to that entire team that went through so much pain during the time of those releases and so much backlash to now being loved and celebrated and able to really put their best foot forward with what their legacy is playing within that universe. I believe you had Hayden Christensen and you had Samuel L. Jackson appearing together at a screening to celebrate. And Samuel L. Jackson has teased, Mace Windu's still alive out there. Let's get that going. Would you have any interest in like a Disney Plus Mace Windu series? Would that be something that does anything
No.
for you? No.
Movie, theatrically released, possibly.
Yeah.
Disney Plus limited series, no, thank you. I'm good.
I'm with you. I can't get excited for Andor. I have yet to watch season 1. Season 2's out. I'm not interested. I just cannot get excited for it. And I don't know why, because I like Rogue One. Some reason I can't click play on it. Maybe it's because I know it's been told to me, even by Jason Collier, Star Wars superfan, hey, it's very dry. Man, I don't know. I just can't find the time to sit down and really devote a lot of time to Andor. I don't know why. We go to this. A movie that you saw yesterday, I believe. The Accountant 2. Ben Affleck is in this. Coming back from The Accountant, I have not seen The Accountant or The Accountant 2. You have seen both here in a short amount of time. You saw The Accountant like, what, a month ago?
Maybe a month and a half ago, yeah.
And then you just saw The Accountant 2. Is this one better than the original?
Yes.
Tell me why.
So the first Accountant movie plays it pretty straight. Just tries to be a smart action thriller, which, you know, at points it is, and it's a lot of fun. This, and if you've seen the trailer, you'll know what I mean, goes for more of a action buddy comedy feel with John Bernthal and Ben Affleck having a lot of banter. And I was kind of hesitant walking in because of that, but they have fantastic chemistry. It works so well. They are hilarious together. My entire theater was laughing out loud throughout the entire film.
Do you think you can see the second one without having seen the first one and enjoy it?
Yeah, I think you can. I think the story for this one is kind of messy anyway, and that is like one of my main knocks against the film, but I honestly don't care about the story because it's just a lot of fun. This is probably the best action movie I've seen in theaters this year, and it's definitely like the best sort of popcorn action movie, we'll say.
Well, now we
Like,
got EG's
we
attention.
got EG in the
Look,
mix now.
we started off with Sinners, which is a
Yeah.
vampire movie. Okay, we go to the second movie. It's Star Wars, right? Nerd alert. You know, you were nice to Jason, but you were judging him.
I was
And then
not.
the
I thought Jason was lovely, and I thought that story really did pique my interest.
okay, I'm sorry. I take back my halfway joke that you are now defending your entire reputation on. And then now you're like, hey, you want to enjoy some popcorn and some good action movie with some guys making jokes and shooting bullets and stuff? You're just like, I'm in.
I'm in. Is it what thoughts? Like,
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of those kind of action movies that is isn't super gritty or anything.
Yeah.
So you can kind of take anybody to it.
oh, okay. I'm suddenly my interest is piqued.
Okay. Let's see. Jason Collier in our chat, by the way,
Hi,
saying
Jason.
Andor season 2 is boring and all EG with a heart face emoji thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys need to quit vibing. Whatever it
No,
is
we are
needs to
vibing.
stop. No, that's not allowed.
Yes.
EG hates nerds.
No,
Okay, we move
if
on to
that was
this.
true, I would not sit in this seat every single day.
That is very true. I would not be in a basement tonight, risking life and limb to play poker with you idiots. It's like, okay, so we are idiots. Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder how screechy that came across when I was young.
No.
We go to this. A Minecraft movie.
Ugh.
Remaining in the top 4 after 4 weeks of release, also making 20 plus million. So Sinners making 45 million. Star Wars Episode 3 making 25.2. The Accountant 2 making 24.5. A Minecraft movie making 22.7. This is the first time this year we've had a box office we can be proud of.
Oh yes.
4 movies over $20 million. Like, what does this say about theatrical exhibition when you have movies like this that are able to draw people? I mean, there was a lot of foot traffic at the theaters this weekend.
Oh yes.
Because
I
there was a
struggled to find parking spots at the Prime Theater. I had to film my accountant review outside because there was just too much foot traffic and I didn't want to disturb anyone.
But what can Hollywood learn from a weekend like this? Like, more re-releases, quality
Yes.
re-releases, I think is a strategy, like, it's a no-brainer. People want it. Theaters want to have something that reminds people of why it's great to go to the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? You can watch Episode 3, Star Wars Episode 3, you can watch it on Disney Plus right now. And people are choosing, no, I'm going to go pay the premium price to watch it at the screen, get the popcorn, bring the family, make it an event, whatever. Like, they're choosing that.
Yes.
That makes my heart warm. But also, like, why don't we get more of these type of events? Like, honestly, Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl would crush if they re-released it in theaters, I feel like.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think it would do pretty well.
Like, Disney has a whole library of solid hits, and they can't seem to necessarily get anything across the finish line that's just a remake of a lot of their hits right now, currently, with the Snow White drama that
True.
took place. Why not just go ahead and re-release some of the great stuff that everyone already loves? You got that built-in audience. Like, would Monsters Inc. not draw a crowd next weekend?
I'd be there.
I'm pretty sure they've re-released a lot of the kids' movies,
They
and
did a
they
lot
get
during COVID. I remember.
they did it a lot during COVID, and they do it a lot during the holiday season as well.
Just pick an important date of why it matters, and put it out there, because I think it works. Anyway, that's what I've learned from this weekend, is that's a big part of the puzzle, big piece of the puzzle there.
I mean, you could argue Star Wars would be a better re-release for this coming up weekend because May the 4th.
Yes, even though it'll already be in there, so they get to double dip,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to necessarily pull away from their own big blockbuster in Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah,
We need to talk about that.
That amazing
Yeah.
movie, the greatest thing Marvel's ever made. I'm not looking forward to it, Tim.
I know, and
I cannot find any excitement for this movie. I appreciate Hunter telling me, like, hey, I got a friend who saw it. He said it's actually really good.
Mhm.
And, this could get the MCU back on track. I appreciate the enthusiasm. It's not reaching me though.
Yeah, I'm not there yet either. I'm checking a box by going to see it, and we'll see if my attitude changes. But I think it's a tough sell. Tickets are not moving fast on it. The marketing campaign's been pretty weak. The MCU right now is at a weak spot. A lot is riding on Fantastic Four, and if they're not able to get that going in any sort of positive way in July, I mean, there could be some real big changes at the top there. So we'll see. Let's see here. Jason in the chat says Wizard of Oz re-release would draw a ton. Look, I saw a 10-minute featurette on YouTube of the Wizard of Oz release that they're doing at the Sphere in Vegas.
Interesting.
It looks fascinating.
That would be interesting, especially with all the Wicked.
They're enhancing, like they're adding imagery
to
that
Oz?
blends into the film, to where you're watching Judy Garland sing there on the farm, but you're surrounded by the entire farm and the wind is blowing. And it's just
that would be interesting.
It looks amazing. Like, I would love to have a ticket to go to Vegas, go to the Sphere. Maybe we can get that approved.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm
Just
down.
field trip,
Yeah.
Meltdown field trip.
I would absolutely be there.
Oh, it looks great. Anyway, so yeah.
I wish they would sync it up with Dark Side of the Moon as well. That would be sick to do at the Sphere.
That is correct.
I can't believe the movie actually syncs up with it.
Do you think they'll do a Wicked re-release before Wicked Part 2 comes out?
Of course.
You think they will?
Yeah.
The movie was just out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like there's.
You think they'll do like a double feature thing?
That would be interesting.
Because it's like Act 1 and Act 2.
Man, that's like 6 hours. How many showtimes can you do of that?
Wicked stayed in theaters for what felt like 6 months.
I don't know how they're gonna rebuild that hype.
Yeah, that's also the problem, like, with the re-release is, like, just re-releasing Wicked right before Wicked Part 2 hurt Wicked Part 2, or does it actually reintroduce the hype?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm fascinated by it. I don't know the right answer, but I am very interested by it. Let's continue on when talking about the box office here, because Until Dawn came in the 5th spot there. $8 million. It's a movie that had to be pretty cheap to make, I would think. Right?
Well, let me double check on that.
Who's the biggest star in it?
Peter Stormare, I guess, but never underestimate Sony's ability to waste money. 15 million.
So low.
So yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, that's like a Blumhouse production budget, give or take.
Yeah,
But
a
pretty
little bit
much.
more than a Blumhouse, honestly.
But they try to hang around 12 as much as possible, but still 15 for Until Dawn. I was at my niece's birthday party. She is, gosh, I'm trying to remember exactly. I think she just turned 19, and all of her siblings, the entire party, all they were talking about was Until Dawn. Until Dawn. Have you seen it? Oh my gosh, I want to go see it. I mean, they were all crazy about Until Dawn. And when I was like, no, I haven't seen it, don't plan to see it, they were like legitimately upset with me. It's like Tyler on a Tuesday. Like legitimately, like, why have you not seen Until Dawn to tell us whether or not we should see Until Dawn? Like, this is what you do. You should go see Until Dawn. And I'm like, and then today, Tyler's like, are you going to go see Until Dawn? I was like, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I was joking about that one.
That's true.
I know you're not seeing that one. I also asked you if you were seeing Sneaks.
Also correct. But you thought this movie was better than you thought it would be.
Yes.
Which it was a low bar, but it jumped over it. But like, I think my nieces and my nephews are going to enjoy going to see Until Dawn, because it's like, is it a PG-13 horror movie? Is it PG-13?
If
check.
it's not, then it's sort of one of those R movies that could easily be PG-13.
It's R.
Yeah.
God, how much money did they leave on the table by not making it PG-13, you think? Legitimately.
I mean, they didn't even really go all of that crazy with the kills, in my opinion. So they left a good bit of money on the table. There was there were some stupid F-bombs dropped by some of the kids.
Yeah, they should have definitely played to the younger crowd with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one, you get the video game sort of crowd in it, even though there are some aspects of this movie that just seem to slap the fans of the game in the face, and other decisions they make that where they really seem to be trying to show respect to the game. But yeah, it's got that Happy Death Day sort of feel. It has
a movie you hate, by the way.
Yeah, I don't like that movie at all. It's got a cast of characters that you don't know. One I actually recognized from Freaky Tales, but no one else went to go see Freaky Tales, so no one else will recognize her.
How many movies can you say that about, though? I mean, a lot. I feel
Yes.
like, oh man, I haven't seen this person on screen in a while. It's like they've been in 3 movies this year. I've seen all 3. It's just 2 of them I was in completely empty theaters because nobody went to go see them.
Yes, exactly. Um, and as far as character development, there's none. There's none. What people liked about the Until Dawn game was that all of your choices mattered. You can get somebody wiped off the mountain with one false move, and they're gone for the rest of your playthrough. But that the whole idea of the happy death day, the day resets at the end of every night, sort of mechanic they add to it kind of flies in the face of that. So it's just loaded up with references. But I do think there's enough like sort of how do I put this? Like the banter and dialogue you would expect when the characters are a group of high schoolers or college age kids. Um, so I think it plays to the younger crowd. A lot of it's just kind of cringe.
Okay. And this is a movie you recommended. I just want to make sure.
I liked it more than I thought I would
Okay.
because they actually do introduce some stuff
It
from the game in a cool way.
it got a C plus cinema score, and it sounds like you're right about there. It
Yeah,
sounds like you're right about there.
I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd,
There we go.
which like is a star and a half to 2 stars more than I thought I would give it.
That's good. I'm glad that it surprised you, but I'm also glad you're not like over singing its praises because it sounds like you're being pretty honest about it. One thing you don't have to wait until dawn to do is to make a dentist appointment. You can do it literally right now. All you got to do is pick up the phone and dial 205 956 8977. That's going to route you through the wonders of technology to Alabama Dental Associates located on Grants Mill Road. And, preferably you need to be someplace, I don't know, within the area to probably access them as a dentist. We do have listeners and viewers all over the country, but unless you're planning on just making a special trip, which maybe you should, to Alabama Dental Associates every time you're in town, I would recommend that you're local. When you're dealing with some local talents like Dr. Jeff, Dr. Brian, and Dr. Nolan over at Alabama Dental, they've got the friendliest staff in town and they're ready to help you with all of your dental hygiene needs there at Alabama Dental Associates. They're accepting new patients now and can help you feel at ease about all of your upcoming dental procedures. For more information or to make an appointment, once again, 205 956 8977 or visit alabamadental.com where they look forward to seeing you. Tyler, you got a chat check in. What you got for us?
Yes, I do. Jason also saw Until Dawn. He says, yeah, it was a hard R rating. And he says they did go crazy with the kills. Bodies blowing up, heads smashing. And, like, yeah, it just looks pretty goofy. Like, it looks like something you would see in older, uh, sort of PG-13 movies, in my opinion. But, there were some gruesome kills. And I also agree with you in that it gives me Silent Hill vibes because you've got like this one little area that almost seems to be disconnected from reality in its own time, which was pretty cool because we're both big Silent Hill fans and waiting on Return to Silent Hill to have any more details available.
Man, Silent Hill was one of those games I remember vividly picking up at the movie store, seeing that cover art. It was like that gray with the
Hmm.
red lettering and like sort of the face peeking through the fog. And, you pop that thing in, and the internet hasn't spoiled it for you at that point because you haven't really gotten on the internet to look at what exactly Silent Hill is. And you just go through an adventure of feeling like death lurking around every corner. And the monsters in there, the music, the visuals, the things that looked so beautiful in one scene become so horrific in another. Love it. And I've never been able to watch Kindergarten Cop the same way afterwards.
Yeah, you blew my mind when you sent me that video.
Silent Hill, they modeled the school after what was the school in Kindergarten Cop, and I totally see it. And somebody did an entire breakdown on YouTube of what those two schools look like and how similar they are. So fascinating there. Let's look at the rest of the top 10 here. Just some things I'll point out. The Amateur dropped from 4th to 7th. This is the Rami Malek movie where he is a CIA. What is he? He's not a coder. He's a
Photographer.
cryptographer. Yes. I've got a question about this in a second. We've got Warfare, which dropped from 5th to 8th. This is an A24 movie. A24 not having the best year.
No, they are not.
They had one of the lowest grossing movies of all time in Opus that came out, like one of the worst opening weekends in a situation where a movie opened in over 1,500 theaters ever in Opus, and not even A24 stands would defend it. You have The Legend of Ochi, which came out this past, it was actually 2 weekends ago in limited release, came out and expanded this week, and didn't even crack 1.5 million. It's in over 1,100 theaters. Nobody went to go see this. Why?
I don't know. Nobody knew about it, I guess.
Or I'll play counterpoint. The people who maybe had been a little bit interested in it said, this looks awful. I don't want to see this. Like, do you think the marketing that was put out there was good? I don't know. Okay.
No. I ended up enjoying the movie a lot more than what the trailer would have me think I would. It has a good ET vibe, little Gremlins, little How to Train Your Dragon, and it's shot like an 80s movie. I think it's super nostalgic feeling, and if you want to introduce like kids to movies that you might have grown up with, I think it's a great way to do that. But that being said, it's also kind of weird where like it's not going to be commercial.
And that's what's sort of strange here, right? Because I think based on our previous conversation, if they re-release ET this weekend, it makes more than $1.5 million world or across the nation, right? You agree with that?
I do, and it flies in the face of people want original stuff. Nobody makes anything original. They literally made ET for the new generation and gave them great puppet work and a cute little character they could attach to and buy toys of, and the collective public just said, "No, we don't want it."
People want the same things over and over. Let's be real.
They want comfort food.
They do.
Yeah.
Like, they want the same thing that they know is quality that they already enjoy over and over and over again. And Revenge of the Sith shows you that, and The Legend of Ochi shows you that. I saw something this weekend all over my social media of people attending like to the Back to the Future backlot experiences that are happening at
Yes.
Universal.
Universal fan nights.
They look amazing.
It looks amazing. They've done a bunch of stuff for Dark Universe, and the Back to the Future stuff looked amazing. They had like these cookies that were shaped like the DeLorean. They had the DeLorean. They had the entire like town square
Yeah.
from 1955, and you could like follow Marty McFly around and like see them reenact scenes from the movie.
Yeah. I saw Biff get punched out
Oh,
by George McFly.
That's awesome. I need to look up the
I'm
clip.
like, what's happening here? And then, he asked her to the dance and she says yes. And I'm like, oh man, I was like, this is great. The lightning
Do you
strikes
get to hear George's line?
No, I don't think you do. But
Oh, okay.
I don't think he used the line verbatim.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't think he used the line verbatim because it probably is not as PG as they would like here in this day and age.
that's true.
Yeah. I mean, in that live setting. You had the lightning strike the clock tower as well, and you got Doc Brown running around, and you got all kinds of stuff. So, look, that looks awesome. I'm just going to be completely like, that looks like a fun time.
I want to go to Epic Universe now. I've never sat here and been like, man, I really want to go to a theme park as much as I have now since like the Harry Potter world at Islands of Adventure first opened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my wife, E.G., my wife comes to me this week and she goes, I think we should start watching Harry Potter. She's like, I want to watch Harry Potter. And this was because
Yes.
we started watching walkthroughs of like the Epic Universe and everything, and we started watching walkthroughs of Universal. So she's all about like, let's get started on Harry Potter with Chloe. So
Nice.
anyway,
I
I'll
have
report
the
back.
complete 8 film. Well, you now do too.
I may have more of the
I
films
think
than
you
you do.
do.
Yeah. But I have 9 films. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
no, literally.
But
Little
anyway,
kids.
so we'll work through that. Yeah, and very interesting box office weekend. Drop, literally doing that at the box office, though, dropping from 6th to 11th. Movie is pretty decent. I mean, it's a pretty decent little thriller, but it's definitely more of a streaming experience, and that's a movie that on streaming I think will do rather well with a bunch of people that like disposable content rather than movies.
Yes,
Like Drop will play to those people. I think it'll be a good time. So there we go.
absolutely.
Snow White dropping out of the top 10 officially, making less than $500,000 this past weekend, and it will not reach $100 million domestically, as
Nope.
set. That's been set for here for a little bit, but it's just another reminder. Um, big miss there. Okay, here's the situation I find myself in. Tyler, I'm going to take your recommendation into account. That is not a subliminal message to have you send me to the accountant too, but I want to go to the movies today and I want to see something. And I think I have a Clubhouse favorite,
Hmm.
but I want to see which way you think I should go. Okay. I could go watch Sinners for a third time. Okay. Because, it's definitely the best movie out right now. And it's not one of those movies I'm just going to be able to go to the movies and watch all the time because it's going to eventually leave. So, Sinners. I can see Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith in its re release. Okay. A movie I have not seen on the big screen since 2005.
Hmm.
I can go see The Accountant 2. I have not seen The Accountant 1, but I could go see The Accountant 2. Seems like you really enjoyed it. I'm not going to go see a Minecraft movie. I'm not going to go see Until Dawn, I don't think.
That's fine.
Um, but the other two movies that I'm considering are The Amateur,
Uh-huh.
Rami Malek, and Warfare, which I may be in the right headspace for.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But, it's a movie that I don't feel like it's going to be fun.
No, it's not. And that's what I was gonna suggest. That was gonna be my first question is, well, are you looking for a fun time or are you looking to really feel something?
And
'Cause
that's what I can't figure out.
Warfare hits hard in my opinion, but it's not a good time. Um, so yeah,
Warfare looks like a miserable experience.
it,
A really good movie, but a miserable experience.
that yes,
Like, I don't really want to be bummed out going into poker tonight. You want to have that
yeah,
vibe on the drive over where you're like in a good mood.
Yeah.
But I'm
okay.
already like just slightly bummed out anyway. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Don't know why. Just feel like kind of slightly bummed out. So I'm like, you know what? What would Warfare hurt? Being a little bit more bummed out.
Probably listening to sad music when you're sad.
I thought that before seeing Warfare.
Oh,
It's like, oh well, today's already kind of blah. So I'll see Warfare. It can't bum me out too much. And I was just sitting there for a good 10-15 minutes after the credits rolled, just thinking like
I don't want to be
Dick
quiet.
Cheney.
I don't want to be quiet at poker tonight because then people will be like, "What's wrong with you?" And the whole time I went and saw Warfare. Okay, maybe Warfare's out.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are you thinking? What are you? Because I think I have a strong Clubhouse contender here of the one that I would be the most willing to go see right now.
Hmm.
But do you have one that's jumping off the page that you would push me towards?
Even though you haven't seen the first one, I'm really pushing Accountant 2 right now.
Really?
Yeah. I I mean, the story is simple enough, but
Mhm.
and it doesn't execute it very well. So you can just throw that out the window. You don't need to watch the first one. Just go watch Ben Affleck and John Bernthal have some fun while they knock some heads in.
I really like Ben Affleck. I really do. Um,
That being said, you might like The Accountant 2 even more after having watched the first one. So, man, it's tough. I I think you're good on Sinners for a bit. I'd say let that cool off,
I agree with you on that.
because you've also already seen it in Prime.
Hmm.
So you've seen it in the best possible format
Yeah.
you can in this town. When I was filming my Accountant 2 review last night, I
Yeah.
walked past the theater and I heard this very familiar screeching sound, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait a minute. I know exactly what that is from. That's from Obi-Wan's fight with General Grievous.
That's what I.
That
That's
it's the I forget what he's riding, but it's that monster thing. That looks awesome."
that's where I'm leaning right now. Is going to see episode 3. Is that
And
crazy?
No, it's not because when I walked past the theater, it just sent a wave of nostalgia through my body, and I thought, "Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna make it an effort to see Star Wars Episode 3 early this week."
That's kinda where I'm at. Like, I really want some comfort food. I mean, I'm really in the mood for something that I can 90% pay attention to,
Mhm.
80% pay attention to, and just let wash over my corpse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Revenge of the Sith is like the visual equivalent of just like some barbecue and some cornbread.
Barbecue, probably not the best. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Mustafar. I don't think I want some
You know what? The analogy is perfect.
chicken's a little burnt. Anyway, sorry.
It is the visual equivalent of like barbecue cornbread and some baked beans.
Think
It's just a kind of food that goes down easy and makes you feel warm and fuzzy.
I think it is Friday's show as well that makes me wanna go see Revenge of the Sith.
Do it.
That had me wanting to, especially seeing Jason's video with Access Hollywood, that little lightsaber cereal
Yeah,
spoon. I forgot to bring it up Friday, but I had one of those and got it from a cereal
I
box
did
in
too.
the promotional run to Revenge of the Sith. And just seeing that in Jason's video reminded me of that. And it also makes me want to see the the re-release again.
I think that's what I'm doing.
I think
I
that's your
think I'm
move.
doing the episode 3 re-release because, you don't get that option often, and everyone I've talked to this weekend that went to go see it had a great time. I mean, like, a really great time, and I'm kinda jealous. I kinda want a great time too.
Well, the chat, we've got one, two, three, four mentions. Yeah, all saying the same thing, and that is do it.
Mm,
Yes.
do it. I think that's where I'm going. So, I appreciate this group therapy session and getting me on the right path, but episode 3 on the big screen sounds like a great time, and maybe, just maybe, it'll give me some hope that Star Wars has a future because I want that. I am a Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. Just my relationship with Star Wars right now, it's complicated. They're not really giving me what I need, and I need them to meet me halfway so I can actually champion something that I really enjoy of Star Wars, and I haven't been there in a while. So, episode 3 may give me some new hope, even though that would be episode 4. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us here
Wait,
on
no, that was just Star Wars.
Correct. You're absolutely right. I appreciate you striking back. Let's
That's
let's
part 2.
right. Let's end the show. I want to thank EG for being here. EG, this week, I want to go ahead and tease this out there. You're going to have a meltdown countdown for us later this week
I am, Tim.
of the 5 things you're looking most forward to, or the things you appreciate most, I should say, about the month of May.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that because May, it's right around the corner.
April showers, May brings flowers.
Yeah, that,
Is that not the phrase?
that is. I mean, it's like, I think it's April showers brings May flowers.
What'd I say?
April showers may bring flowers,
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
But anyway,
Oh, all that to say. Meltdown countdown coming soon.
EG no longer looking forward to the month of May.
It's
Tyler,
gonna be May.
it's gonna be May. Tyler, we've talked a lot about movies. I've enjoyed that, and a very interesting box office weekend. And we will see what other twists and turns we get from this week. There's a trailer coming out tomorrow for the new Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie,
Smash.
Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
It's on my top 10 of my most anticipated list. If you go back and watch our most anticipated movies list, minus Mickey 17 being on there for Tyler, it is pretty much like, it's panning out to be very fascinating how we did that. We did that back in December.
Yes.
So, I mean, we've been kind of ahead of the curve here. And, Sinners was definitely on my list. The Fighting Machine, no, I'm sorry, The Smashing Machine is on my list. I'm really looking forward to The Running Man.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking way forward. No one's really talking about it yet, but Weapons is a movie that I want to geek out about with somebody. And eventually they're going to release a full trailer and everyone's going to be talking about Weapons because I think Weapons has a chance to be like this the long legs of 2025.
It could, yeah.
Like that viral sort of, oh man, you got to go see this thriller movie. And Zach Kreger's somebody I believe in full-heartedly, and I'm looking very forward to that. So tons of movie stuff to get excited for.
Plus Megan 2.0, they're going for viral.
That movie. I don't know if I can do that one, Tyler. I may have to send you on assignment to Megan 2.0.
Yeah, that might be one I see by
There's
myself.
one line in the trailer
Oh, yeah.
that when it said, Scott Forster said, I hope y'all talk about that line or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Scott, we can't talk about that line. But yeah, Megan 2.0 looks super cringy. So that's going to do it for us. My pen is falling apart. Thank you so much to all of you loyal Meltdownians. Hey, don't forget about our title sponsor. That is MyBookie at mybookie.ag. You can bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. MyBookie.ag. Use promo code NEXTROUND for that first-time deposit bonus. They'll treat you right there at mybookie.ag, where you can build your bankroll and bet on anything, anywhere, anytime with MyBookie. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. Thank you to everybody that's been in the chat today. Make sure you hit that little notification bell. Looks like that right there. Yep, hit that notification bell so you never miss when we go live here on the Meltdown.